That legislation passed in April of last year, and from the beginning there was a massive campaign of coordinated opposition led by mostly the DAs, by some law enforcement, by Republicans across the state. That campaign of opposition ratcheted up on January 1st, following the implementation of the laws. And we know that bail reform is working. There are thousands of people just since January 1 who have been able to go home to their families and their jobs, who are not incarcerated pretrial, who are able to go to and from court, not in state greens or handcuffs. But we have seen a series of cherry-picked, sensationalized, and often blatant lies show up in the media with the effort to scare people into rolling back bail reform. The Assembly has stayed incredibly strong, led by Speaker Carl Hastie, in saying we will not roll back a law that only went into effect 6 weeks ago, and we will not roll back that law in response to this fear-mongering. The Senate, however, has been caving to political pressure, and a week and a half ago, the Senate Majority Leader put out a proposal to roll back bail reform that was released in Newsday, which is not a political coincidence. This is a capitulation to the fear-mongering that has happened on Long Island. And that rollback is a pro-jail proposal. It would lead to the mass pretrial detention and indefinite detention of hundreds of thousands of additional people. And so we are here today to fire up the Assembly to stand strong against rollbacks and to hold the Senate accountable and to specifically be speaking to and making clear to everyone the political consequences for senators who turn against the communities who have been impacted by mass incarceration and cave to the political pressures of pro-jail forces. And the rally will primarily feature Assembly members because the Assembly is who has been holding strong. There will be a handful of senators there, and they are really the senators who are trying to hold down in opposition to bail rollbacks, even as their conference caves around them. After the rally, the actions in the morning, we are going to be doing office takeovers of the legislators who have come out in favor of the Senate's regressive pro-jail bail rollback proposal. And we are in the final 5 weeks before the budget passes on April 1st. If they roll back bail reform, the only way they could do that is in the budget. So these are the most important 5 weeks to stop those efforts. So today, and it's really exciting to have all of you here, is the day that we begin escalation. It's the day, as the Senate has indicated that it might cave, that we start to make very clear that communities and organizations across the state will not allow that. And so we will be splitting up into teams. One team will be led by Nick. Nick, will you just raise your hand? Will be led by Nick and by Vocal New York members. And that team will be headed to Senator Stavitsky and Senator Adebayo's offices, who are two senators from Queens who have caved and who have indicated publicly that they support the rollbacks. And we will be doing takeovers of their offices. And that means that we will be holding functionally speak outs in their offices. We will be talking about why what they are doing is not acceptable, about what kind of impact it will have on communities. We will be chanting, and we will be staying in those offices with the goal of being a disruptive force, of making really clear and really apparent that we will not accept what they are doing. Team B will be the folks from Long Island who are on a separate bus coming from Long Island. They will be shutting down the offices of Assembly Member Engelbright and of Senator Gorin, who did the same. Team C is the Hudson Valley, the Capital District, and we're probably going to beef them up a little bit with some of us from New York City. And they will be shutting down the offices of Senator Metzger and Senator Skoufis, who have also caved on this. Team D will be led by Marvin, and we will be shutting down the office of Senator Sepulveda. Senator Sepulveda is somebody from the Bronx, is somebody who has been an ally for various folks on other issues, but who, after the Senate released this rollback proposal, came out in public support of it. And so, even though he is going to be very upset that we are shutting down his office, it is important that we be clear to folks who are sometimes our friends that if you are willing to move a proposal that will lead to the mass pretrial incarceration of communities across the state, at least right now, you're not our friend. And then the final team will be led by Jared and Rodney, who I'll introduce when we get up there. They're both up there already. That team will be flyering the entire legislative office building, so covering it with posters, leaving flyers in everybody's mailboxes, and they're also going to do a couple of drop-ins with a few different senators. If there is anybody who is not, now I think office takeovers, these are going to be incredibly powerful, and so I really encourage folks to be part of those. But if there's anybody for whatever reason who would rather flyer the LOB and do a couple of drop-ins than be part of one of the office takeovers, you can join Team E. And in the afternoon, in the same teams, we are going to be headed to the Capitol, or most of the teams are going to be headed to the Capitol. Team A and Team C are going to head to the Senate, and you are going to flyer, you're going to be very visible, and the senators are going to be there first in conference and then in session, and the goal is for them to have to see you every time they walk out of the room, every time they head into session, every time they go to the bathroom. We are going to be very present, both talking to them, but also being both a visible and audible force. Team B is going to do that on the assembly side. That's the Long Island team. Team D, which is Marvin's team, is probably going to join the assembly team, but may have a meeting in the interim. And then Team E, which is the team that was flyering, if they weren't able to finish covering the legislative office building in flyers and postcards, they're going to do that and then join the team on the assembly side.
We're going to be very visible. We're going to be very audible. When we go into these offices, it's not to be pretty. It's not to be polite. We're going in to let them know how exactly how angry we are about them trying to put more black and brown people across this state in prison, in jails rather. So the issue is urgent. This is like fourth quarter, last shot. We need everybody focused. We're here today for a purpose, not for sightseeing, not for lunch. We're here to make noise.
Let them know, Mom. Let them know. Tell the truth. Get it on.
And we are almost to Albany.
We don't get it. Shut it down.
That's what we do.
Oh, this is nice particularly over here.
Okay.
What right here? So this is the button. Protect bail reform. That's what I'm going to do today.
Bail reform.
We're not gonna bullshit. Tell me we're not gonna bullshit this for real.
Let them know, call up.
Yeah, we're here to take over.
Take over.
Right, shut them down.
And if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
y'all better be ready.
We are going to do our best effort to break up into those teams right now so that you can meet the folks that you're going to be working with.
The reason that we're going after these two in particular is because they have stepped out publicly and supported this bad proposal. Other people are being quiet. These people are literally trying to be out front saying, we want more people in jail.
Yeah, they support the Senate bill reform proposal.
So I think we're going to go through security. I'm not quite sure what we're waiting for.
What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! Awesome.
2020, New York implemented a new bail law. A new pretrial package that has helped to save communities, keep people out of cages, and make our neighborhoods safer. January 1st, we also saw the mobilization of Republicans, police, district attorneys, and all folks who are interested in making money off the backs of imprisoned people to form a racist Voltron to try to repeal those laws.
That ain't right.
Is that right, yeah?
That's shame.
Shame. Listen, we're tired of coming here. We're tired of telling you the same thing.
Tired of asking.
We cannot roll these laws back. And because we are committed to making sure these laws are protected and our communities are safe, we will keep coming as long as we need to.
That's right.
And you're going to keep hearing from folks in the community. And you're going to keep hearing from people who have been impacted by the racist, backwards laws that we had before.
Khalif is not here anymore, and there's many families like ours that's not here to represent what happened in the system and why we should have a bail reform, or why we should keep this bail reform. But we're going to talk about who we are helping today. The tens of thousands of people that was languishing in jail. Not 3 years like Khalif, sometimes more, but definitely no less than 1 year. We cannot ignore the many, the countless, the thousands, the tens of thousands that we have helped out with this bill.
He represents the thousands of people who have been victimized by this racist justice system. They've been victimized by this. They've been victimized by district attorneys who are more interested in racking up incarcerations so they can go consult somewhere and so they can keep people safe.
There's a scripture that says, "Come, let us reason together." I say that for the senators or the assembly people who do not want this bill to stay the way it is. Number one, it was designed to help people with misdemeanors and nonviolent felonies. Yes. What you're promoting is fear-mongering tactics so that people will get scared and they'll try to roll it back. But look at all of the families that are still together. Look at all of the people that now have not lost their home like me and other people. I stayed locked up for 18 months for a crime that I didn't commit. How many people are out there now fighting? Harvey Weinstein just got convicted yesterday. Guilty. So yesterday was his first day in jail. This young man here was innocent and he lost his life. How many more lives must be lost because y'all want to take us back? We don't want to go back into ancient times. We want to go forward. If y'all don't like what's out there, come to the people. All of y'all elected officials, one thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to let it end with that, y'all got elected in, and we can get you voted out. We can get you voted out. We can get you voted out.
If the goal is public safety, then let's talk about the actual services that people need. My people need mental health resources. My people need to not be criminalized for being poor. My people need good jobs. My people need good education. My people need services. Not incarceration.
It's very important that we understand that building jail facility and investing for others is investing for the bad boys of corporate America. And we need to stop that. So la lucha continúa. Si se puede, yes we can, and let's win this battle.
We're here because this is not a joke. We're here because it's not about politics. We're here because we're not going to be used as pawns.
No
rollback. This young boy could have been your brother, your son,
That is my brother.
your cousin.
There are days when anger just becomes too much. As I stood here waiting to speak, I see this beautiful boy and we start talking. And it turns out that he is Khalif's nephew, who he never got to meet. He never got to meet his grandmother. And I was coming here ready to scream bloody hell and to say we're never rolling back because of the many reasons we all know. But then there are those days when it's simply humanity we have to talk about. When we have to talk about the pain that this criminal justice system, that this fucked up criminal justice system has created. Because we're not longer talking about the mistakes of judges, we're talking about the biases of judges. We're no longer talking about the fear of losing 1 or 2 votes. We're talking about what other elected officials, politicians, are willing to do to save their own seats. And if the conversation had been, here's the real statistics, we've been 6 months at this, and look, it's not working, I think many of us would be like, you know what, let's sit down and figure it out. But when you come to us a week,
6 days.
6 days, not even a week, after it began implementation to tell us it's not working, you don't have any proof.
That's right.
It is impossible for you to have proof.
No data.
But you know what proof I do have? Rafael never got to meet his uncle. He never got to meet his grandmother. How many little boys like him will not get to have a full family? Because we are thinking of politics and power before people. This needs to stop. We need to think of humanity. We got elected to think about our people, not about us. And you know what? If standing with them costing me my seat, so be it. Because at the end of the day, I'd rather go away for the right thing to stand by cowards.
Y'all sit here lying to my community. We're gonna sit, we're gonna fight till there's no breath in us. We're not accepting no rollback. A rollback is a smack in the face to my community. It's a smack in the face to the black and brown communities that's suffering. Do you understand what I'm saying? A rollback is a smack in the face to me. We are not accepting rollback. You want to cherry pick something? Cherry pick my case. Cherry pick Khalid Browder's case. Cherry pick these cases that individuals that have been suffering. You want to cherry pick something? Cherry pick that. We not accepting no rollbacks. We gonna fight to every breakfast. We gonna fight.
That represents the anger that we have in the communities. No one ever talks about that. Because when we express that anger, all of a sudden we're dangerous.
We're the angry black man.
Just like some black people. Yeah, well, wait, pardon me. We're not dangerous. We're not dangerous. We're just judicial discretion. We are regular New Yorkers who want to live happy, healthy lives with good quality housing, with good quality education, with support for our mental health issues when we have it, and the ability to not be terrorized by the police. Not asking for much. We're going to fight for more changes because, if we're being honest, New York State really should not be surviving off of a prison economy. Exactly. And you know, I'm not pointing any fingers, but it seems to be that we're getting really comfortable with folks making a living off of other people living in cages.
I want to introduce folks to my cousin Ivory Rowland. So Ivory was in Rikers Island as well, and my cousin Ivory suffered from seizures. One day, while he was in Rikers Island, awaiting trial, not being able to afford bail, we got a telephone call that said that my cousin Ivory Rowland passed away in Rikers Island. And it was heartbreaking to his children, it was heartbreaking to his parents. Shortly after that, my aunt, Jeanette Rowland, passed away of a heart attack. And I tell everybody that my aunt died from a broken heart because this was her only son, who she loved dearly, and who, but for her being able to afford the bail for him to come home, her son would be here today. And so we standing here, not just on the shoulders of course, our beloved Khalid Browder, but we're standing on the shoulders of so many other people who paid the ultimate price, just waiting for their day in court, simply because their zip code determined that they were going to be inside of a detention facility as opposed to being free and out to defend their cases like so many people expect.
You are pushing for rollbacks because you believe you are protecting Jews, you are fighting anti-Semitism, you are fighting hate violence. Nothing could be further from the truth.
Not for us.
It's not for us. Don't do us any favors. In fact, the side that you are standing on is the side of the Trump administration, who sent Attorney General William Barr into our communities to charge people with mental illness with hate crimes. You are standing on the side of the 3%er white supremacist, white nationalist organizations that rallied in these very halls to keep more black and brown people in prison. You are on the side of the racist police union chief, Ed Mullins, who's under investigation by his own department because he's so racist. These are the people that you are standing with. These people do not have the best interest of Jews or other communities that are impacted by hate violence in mind.
We know that a fourth of survivors of color are arrested in the confusion of intimate partner violence incidents. We know that the majority of those people are black and brown. Many of them are queer and trans. Lillian Polanco, Lee Browder, all of these folks are killed by the system. This is not in our name. No rollbacks. If you want to keep us safe, invest in housing, invest in services. Repeal trans. Repeal things that make us unsafe. The penal codes. Do not criminalize. Do not surveil us. Do not police us. It does not help us. Not in our name.
Not in our name.
Right now, our system, it's not that it's broken, it's
not.
that it's designed
Exactly.
in a way to make sure that there are two criminal justice systems, one for the rich and one for the poor.
Exactly.
Yes. And bail reform was one thing that we did to redesign this system to finally make it just a little bit more fair. And I just wanted to say that right now, on the federal level, we are having a very big discussion about the history of stop and frisk.
Exactly.
Yes. And people are saying that it's racist, right? That it was wrong. And people are apologizing for stop and frisk.
Yes.
Damage is done.
I just want to say,
Bloomberg, no apology takes away.
if we roll back bail reform and we put in something that is just like judicial stop and frisk, that is not better. Stop and frisk. And they will be standing on the wrong side of history.
All right, folks, so we are wrapping up now. Thank you so much for coming. Get yourself in gear, get ready. Once again, if you feel a little uncomfortable, you always can step back. We're going off, me and Paul are going to lead it, but like I said before, if you feel you have anything to say, just go ahead and chime in. You know, this isn't nothing that's structured, you know. This isn't a legal proceeding. We're going as a group, but I'm just letting you everybody know where we're going. All right, 913, and we're going to go now.
Yeah, we're over here.
Got seats in here. You want to sit down? You don't want to stand up?
First of all, let me ask you, let's see around.
Get a car.
There's a senator here.
Give me a card? Yeah.
There's a senator here, though.
She is, yes.
Can you speak up, please?
Well, let's see, I'll see what she's doing. Hang on a second.
Do that.
Thank you.
Nick, is she opposing or she's
She's opposed. She wants the Senate bill.
Like blatantly?
Yeah.
Like blatantly?
She wants to put people back in jail.
That's what I wanted to hear.
This is Sabio, he's our legislative director.
We're not here to talk to legislative director. We're here to stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks.
Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks.
Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back.
And this is on bail reform, obviously.
Yeah. I'm here to say that we're not here to talk politely no more. Okay?
Yep.
We're here to, my name is John. I'm here with a coalition of people.
I see that, yes.
Different walks of life, different groups.
and we're here to say that we're not here to talk politely anymore about rollbacks, okay? Stavisky has come out, Senator Stavisky has come out in support of a plan that the Senate has pushed forward to roll back bail or in some other type of modern or form to roll back bail reform. We're not here to do that. I'm from Queens. I'm a constituent of Stavisky, and I'm from Queens. This is my co-working comrade Carl. He's from Queens, and we're from all parts of New York State. We're not here to accept no rollbacks. I want to speak to Senator Stavisky. I want to speak to her right now. Can you get her out here, please? We want to have a word with her. We want to understand what her position is and why she feels that we should be rolling back bail, and it's only been on the books for about 45 days, less than that. Why does she want rollback?
I don't think that she has said that.
What has she said?
Why is she not here speaking to her? Why is she sending you out here?
All right, what has she said? What's her position? What is her position? You don't know. You're the legislative director, but you don't know. Stand strong, fight back.
We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks.
Stand strong, fight back.
We will not accept rollbacks.
Say something, Carl.
You know what?
Say something to her.
Tell her in November, remember us.
We will vote you out.
That's
right. We will vote you out.
We will vote you out. We will vote you out.
We will vote you out for you. You're not Stavisky. Stand strong, fight back.
We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks.
I want to speak to the senator. I want her constituents. I'd like to speak to the senator.
Right?
Yeah.
Mike, how you doing, man?
Hey, Mike. We're not here to shake hands, brother. Are you a good man? We're not here for that. I want to speak to the senator. I know she's here.
The senator has a 12:30 meeting. She has planned. Okay?
It's not 12:30 yet. Stand strong, fight back.
We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks.
Hold on. Speak to
She
him,
gonna
Paul.
come in front of me. She gonna come in front of me. Okay?
She can give us a minute.
I'm saying, the time for talking is over. This is too important. Understand something. This is more important than you, her, any people, any senator, any assemblyman. This is about black and brown lives. You understand? You people are worried about your position. Listen, if the Democrats don't take you out, the Republicans will. You understand? We'd rather because I don't want you. We're not here for that. I'm going to tell you what I know. I know that there's a plan on the table to give judges judicial discretion to lock me up. Okay? So what is that? You know what that means to me? That means that I'm black, I should be behind jail. If I stand in front of a judge, if I stand in court, that's what that means to me.
That ain't
I'm not going to sit back and allow anybody to do that to me or my people. Low-income white, black, brown people, we've been suffering for at least 400 years, at least black people. And you stand there with your other white comrades, you won't let the senator come out and speak to us. I'm her constituent. She don't get paid unless I vote for her. Right. Don't you understand that? So bring her out here.
What side are you on?
Are you scared of me? Are you scared of me as a black man? Are you scared of me? If she's scared of me, can you bring her out? I want to speak to her. I want to speak to her.
Finishing up a phone call. She has planned, and she will be happy to meet with you if we set up a meeting.
No, I'm not setting up nothing. We did all of that. You don't understand what I'm saying. You don't understand what I'm saying. We've done all of that already. And all that has resulted in us people getting into little people have gotten to cabals, little groups, little gangs in the Senate, and have decided that they're going to squander my fucking rights so that they can keep their seats, and I'm not going to have it. I want to speak to her. I want to speak to her now. I ain't going nowhere till she get a type of word with me. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back.
We will not accept rollbacks. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks.
Speak to him.
I did 5 to 10 years. Okay, for something out of this. Okay? I don't believe in sorry or nothing.
Where's the senator? I want to speak to him.
I believe that we voted for her. Our problems on the phone. Let us stay on the phone. When it's time to vote, let us stay on the phone.
Exactly.
We are happy to see if we
listen, when did we talking about the
Let me tell you why.
Hold on, stop. We set up several meetings with you. My director was there. Okay. I was there. I sat and spoke to you a month ago, less than a month ago, about bail reform. So why are you going to stand there and say, What office were we in? My office? What office were we in?
I met with you this year.
How do you know me if you haven't met with me this year? Me and you met
Yes, we did.
a month ago. Listen, all right, I tell you what.
Yeah, you're from
We're not gonna
Queens Village, right?
Yeah, we're not gonna bicker about that. You know what? I'm from Queens Village, and my people
not
in
our
Queens,
dis-
and
not
the
our
people in
district,
Queens
not our
Village.
district. Not our district.
The people in Queens Village, but see, that's the problem.
What side are you on?
Hold on, that's the problem.
What side are you on, my people?
What side are you on? What side are you on, my people? What side are you on?
We're on the people's side. What side are you on?
Let me say a word. That's the problem with you senators right now. Not from my district. Who gives a shit what district I'm from? Who cares what district I'm from? I'm from Queens. I'm from Queens. She's a senator in Queens. You just said not my district. What, I'm supposed to leave now? I'm supposed to walk out?
You said you work from my district. You said you work.
Who cares what district I'm from? Half the people in here ain't from your district. But everybody's worried about the same thing. Bail reform, right?
Yes, we are worried about it.
No, we are worried about it. I don't know what you're worried about, and I don't know what the senator's worried about. I know that the senator has met, and the senator has come out publicly, and supported modification to bail reform.
She did not say that.
Queen's Eagle.
What?
Queen's Eagle.
What was the quote, sir? What was the quote? We can eliminate cash bail for all offenses.
To do what? To do what? Add judicial discretion? To do what? That's a red herring, man. You treat me like I'm stupid.
Right.
Darren want to say something, y'all. I will say that.
Yes.
I'm done.
The bill that the Chief Walker put out there was passed. Right?
Yep.
It took care of two things, okay? Violent offenses, we're not covering it because we don't want to see violent.
I understand that.
But
Yes.
non-violent felonies
Right.
and misdemeanors are covered in the bill.
Yes.
Now, the opposition is saying that they want to change that and put risk assessment in it. Now, I don't know if she said it per se, but these are things that they're trying to put in there. And if we get risk assessment, we won't be no better than California.
The senator has not talked to anyone about these negotiations. There's no bill.
It's in the Queen's Eagle. Maybe you haven't seen the papers. The compromise is to end cash bail to give judges judicial discretion. You claim that you don't know what's going on. I'm telling you what's going on. Take my word for it. It is in the Queen's Eagle, and she is in support of that specific proposal.
There is no bill.
Okay?
There's no bill.
That doesn't have to be a bill. There's a proposal on the table. It doesn't mean that has to be a bill. My man called, speak to him, Carl.
Wait, why
You trying to treat me like I'm a dummy, man?
What kind of phone call she get? We have more important than her phone call.
We are in the budget season. There are phone calls, there are conference calls and budget calls regarding the budget.
Come on,
Listen,
baby.
she
The
also
budget right now, we deal with bail reform. Can y'all understand that? Get her off the phone. And as quick as she off the phone.
You dealing with people's lives.
Give us a minute.
No, we have things to do too. Just like y'all have things to do. She can speak for herself unless she a coward.
She's not a coward, sir.
She gotta be a coward, not be on the damn phone.
If you call our office and set up a meeting.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
You know what?
She
We
got
don't have
to
to
bring
bring
it
back.
back.
She got to come in front of. She got to come in front of me. I'm gonna see her in her face. I'm gonna vote her out right there. Okay.
Okay.
So let her do what she wanna do. She wanna be that phone. That phone call is more important than us, and let her stay there.
I said she would speak if a meeting is set up like every other group.
Oh no, every other group ain't worried about bail reform, man. Every other group ain't worried about bail reform.
It's here. In the day since state senate Democrats announced they were considering changes to the new bail. Bail. Two members of the Queen's delegation said they were open to compromise plans that would eliminate cash bail, but give just discretion to send people to jail. Just one of the Queen's senator will discuss the plan. So
who is
what?
What's going on here? We gotta take everything outside, all right? Respect.
We want to speak for the person
I
that
understand.
wants
I understand, but you have to ask some outside understand.
Permission from who?
You can talk to me.
There's no reason to talk to you. There's no reason to talk to you.
Step outside, all right?
I'm gonna wait right here for the senator, man. That's what I'm gonna do.
Let's shut the door.
All right, so shut the door. I'm gonna wait right here for the senator. Man, move on.
All right, so we'll call the state police.
Then you do that.
All right.
You
But right now,
told
we
me
gotta
that.
step back.
You told me that, man. See, that's how you gonna treat me now, right?
All right.
That's how you tell them you don't need to call the police.
All right.
Everything ain't about the police, Tom. Everything about the police, Tom.
You're on the wrong track.
No, I ain't on no wrong track, Tom. I'm on the right track.
You're raising your voice to me.
So what? So what? I can't raise my voice? Tom, you ready to call the police, Tom, on me? You ain't no brother of mine. You ain't no brother of mine.
The whole thing on that. He came out and said she's on the phone.
Going nowhere, man. Y'all go ahead, man. I'm into this, man. Go ahead.
For a while. Why can't she be woman enough to come out and get
We're not saying she can't, but I'm just saying there's a little too much going on in the office.
Like what? A couple people standing around demanding to see how standing there, man?
Loud.
What's loud? Show me the policy, bro. Show me the policy. Tell me my voice is too loud, man.
Right here.
I got my First Amendment rights saying my voice ain't too loud, man. Maybe you don't know about that. Maybe you've been working for the white man too long. Maybe you don't know about that, Tom. Right?
I know right from wrong.
Now you don't know right from wrong. You know right from wrong. You wouldn't be standing in front of the door blocking me from making sure I don't get sacrificed and on jail. If you knew right from wrong, you don't know right from wrong. You know your salary, bro. That's what you know. Come out in the streets and talk to me and my people. Don't stand in front of no door, no blue jacket on, telling me I can't speak to my senator.
All right. So you told me.
Yeah, so now you can leave. Get out of my way so I can speak senator.
He's not the person that you should be picking a fight with, I promise.
What?
I said he's not the
Who
person.
you? Are you with me?
I am with you.
You all with me? So then, chill out.
Okay.
Do me a favor. Thanks. So what we gonna do? We all gonna stand here. We gonna dance. What we gonna make lemonade? What we gonna do? I can't speak to my senator.
Yeah, you know what?
Well, we are gonna wait.
Let's go to our next one.
It's her call.
Wait for them. If they ain't gonna come out,
No,
we said
sure not. Especially not like that.
Man, let them know. Let her know I'll be back. Let her know
We'll be back.
Go ahead.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
They make it hard. They make it harder for you.
To call out. Don't make it hard on him. He make it hard on himself.
You ain't gonna be doing that.
He came out at 12, said she's on phone call, and then she got a meeting at this time. So what he did, he came in here, he stood right there with the door open, and he got it nice and conversational to the time, tick, 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 tick. So now, when she comes to the door, if she comes to the door now, is, oh, I have a meeting that they told you guys about. They know what they doing, man. They know what they're doing, and if you ever been in jail, then you know about that passing the buck.
I was a correctional officer, so I know, trust me.
So you know about passing the buck. That's what they doing, man.
All I'm
Everybody
saying,
who come out,
not
it's
necessarily.
me.
All I'm
It's not
saying, we
me.
just gotta wait outside.
We'll be back. We'll be back. Let's go, man.
I don't even understand. What makes you say we gotta wait outside? Where you get that from? Where you
Because this
get
is an
that
office. This is an office.
Everything is an office. I have to wait outside the whole Capitol, man. That's not what I asked you.
This is
Why
where
I
we
gotta wait
conduct
outside?
business. But we're just gonna
Do
do it
you realize
outside.
that I pay
That's
for
all
the
I'm
passes
asking.
in here?
Let's go.
I'm asking you why. I'm going, but I want you to give me a sane reason why I gotta go outside. Why? Because you say so? None of them came in here. None of these ladies, nobody in that room asked me to go outside, no matter how loud I got. You come in here, you tell me to go outside, I'm supposed to go outside?
Yes, and you know
Come on,
why?
man. Let me clue you in. Some of us black people that you look down on, we do know our rights. Tom. Okay? We do know our rights.
Right.
Now, I'm going to leave because I can't accomplish nothing else. But some of us, we do know our rights. I don't got to leave because you tell me to leave. I pay for this shit. Tom.
Yeah, she already came in front of me anyway. You know?
You leave because you said to leave. I pay for it. My taxes pay for it.
Come back.
State Senator Joseph Adabo and Toby Sabisky both said they're willing to make changes to the law amid an onslaught of opposition from Republican lawmakers and law enforcement. This guy said, we don't know what the language is, but I think this is moving in the right direction.
I'll leave. Come on.
Okay. Someone's got to do what side are you on? That's all I'm saying.
I just want to know why we got 200 bodyguards now. They don't follow us around the building before the
Now we've got security with us.
Now we got security.
Come on.
Don't nobody never worry about nothing else that matter. They come and worry about the stupid little stuff. Like, you follow me around, I'm pretty sure it's mad other stuff you could be doing. Y'all ain't gotta follow me around. Go follow around somebody. Go follow around. No, Harvey Williams, Wine, whatever his name. Go follow Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, Weinstein. Go follow him. Don't follow me.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hang on.
You can only allow so many people in here at a time.
What?
Nick, I'll go out. He's coming.
Whose phone is it on?
Prom, you don't need me.
You don't need that.
You don't need me.
There's only so many people allowed in the office at a time.
Who told you that? What policy is that? That's never been the case. Yeah, that's never been the case.
That has been the case.
No, that's never been the case. We've been up here. We've always been coming up here.
Is it just like a number that
Yeah, what number is that? Well, how many people?
The space looks spacious enough for all of us.
2 people. You got couches in here for enough people.
What's happening in there?
They're not letting us in because there's a specific number of people all of a sudden.
Wow.
But there's enough space. Plus, I've seen more than 2 people waiting while there's people inside. Plenty of times.
That's ridiculous, man.
She has a problem with it?
That's ridiculous.
The senator is saying this, or this is your policy, or the senator's
You can't
policy?
overwhelm people.
Overwhelm people? They're legislators, man.
Crowd came in at one time.
They're legislators, man. They get overwhelmed every day.
Politics is overwhelming. The
talking
criminal
about.
legal system is overwhelming our community.
got a slew of couches
so we come
and
here
chairs
and we
in there.
overwhelm whatever we need to.
Right, we're trying to speak to.
Yeah, you blocking, you abridging my First Amendment, man. You standing in my way. Excuse me, bro. Excuse me, man.
Some people want to leave, then leave. We'll let somebody in after enough people leave.
We got a chain. We got a chain.
Let me pass.
Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollback. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollback. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollback. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollback. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollback. Stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollback. Stand strong. Can she get out? Can she get out?
1 for 1.
Let out. 1 for 1.
Can she get out?
Let her out. Let's money in.
This is what
They say no, now they say no one can get it. Just to let her out.
Let's.
It's just one body for one lot.
It does make sense.
Why you got a box in, man?
This
Why
is
do y'all
why
have a box
judges'
in?
discretion on cash bail is so scary because
Exactly.
you're using your discretion right now.
And y'all don't even have the, y'all don't got the authority to block. You don't got the authority to block nobody from walking into this office that I paid for, man. You don't have no authority to stop me from walking in here, man.
Not at all.
No authority.
Look outside. Do you want to count?
I don't know. I don't want to argue.
You don't got no. We don't want to argue with you either.
I'm calling the state.
Call them up. You in my way. Call them up. You're blocking
There ain't no rule saying how many
Call
people
them
go
up.
in the office.
You in my way. You
Well,
don't got
you're
no.
saying
What happened to
what
your
you're
phone?
doing.
What happened to
What
your
you're
phone? What happened to your phone now, huh? What happened to your phone? I'm stupid. What happened to your phone? Call them up. You in my way. You ain't got no right to block my access to this office I paid for. I keep saying, excuse me, y'all won't let me through.
I'm asking this lady a question, and I can't hear
That's
her
it.
answer.
Then walk in and speak to her, man, because I'm not moving from here.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Can I come in?
Excuse me.
Can I come in?
Yes.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Move. Move. Move.
That's not right.
That is right. You've been blocking me for the whole time. I've been standing. Move, man. Let my people in. Move.
Do you want to talk to me or not? Because, you know, if you
Is Senator Adabo here?
No, he's not.
Is he here? I understand. Is he
He's
here?
not. And I gave them a card to schedule an appointment because we have many appointments.
I'm done scheduling appointments.
Well,
Okay?
then I can't
Adabo
help
is
you.
on record. Yes, you
Then
can
I
help me.
can't
Adabo
help you.
is on record as supporting a rollback to bail reform. That means more of my people will get locked up. You don't understand because my people are standing out there and you don't want to.
Hello?
These 2 henchmen with no authority to block any access to any office that we pay for. He said he was going to, then he put his phone away. He knew I wasn't wrong. He just thought I was stupid.
Excuse me, if
He knew I wasn't wrong.
excuse me, I am happy to
And this is why we are so
I'm looking for Senator Adabo.
If you're gonna come in here yelling, I'm not
Yeah,
talking
I'm
to
getting to
you.
y'all because your senator is on record. You can't yell at me. I'm not a public official, man. You can't yell at me. But you are a public servant, right? You're getting paid with my tax dollars, right? So if I feel like yelling, I will damn well yell,
And my
right?
tax dollars pay for the buses that you ride on.
Your tax dollars pay for my buses.
Stand up, fight back. We will not accept rollback. Stand up, fight back. We will not accept rollback. Stand up, fight back. We will not accept rollback. Stand up, fight back. We will not accept rollback.
Stand up, fight back.
We will not accept rollback.
Stand up, fight back. We will not accept rollback.
And if we don't get it,
Shut down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it 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 down.
we vote you in, we can vote you out. We vote you in, we can vote you out.
It's about the concept of life, about human beings.
I understand.
But can she come in? Can my people just come in? They quiet now. Can they come in? Can they still? But see, but your actions. What actions have I been violent? I'm pretty sure now I'm not. Oh, well, here we go again.
No,
We got Tommy with us. Everybody say hello to Tommy.
Hi, Tommy.
Why not, Tom? Everybody here talking. We in here talking. Listen, we used to sit down and come in and sit down and shake hands and have a discussion. All that turned into was people making suggestions that we should be put in jail under judicial discretion. Here we go. And that ain't right. So now we're not coming back here to sit down and hold talks in offices and drink tea and water. We're not doing that no more. Now we're here to protest. Because if I sit down in the office and talk, the next thing I know, this modification to bail reform will pass, and I'm not going to have that. So when the state police, we're not going to have it. Explain that to them. Until then, stand strong, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks. Stand up, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks. Stand up, fight back. We will not accept rollbacks. Okay, let's go. Let's go. We'll be back. 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 Standing in front, this is my goddamn doorway. You got the fucking right to stand in front and block me.
You see, he moved out the way for the dude.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right. Talking about calling state police. I see he put his phone back down.
Cause state police gonna say, what the hell you call me for that?
Exactly. What you
call me for that? You ain't got something else better than
state police gonna tell you how you gonna block a man from his own door. I pay for that door. How you gonna block me from it?
Just wait until that camera's gone.
Her name's Cassie, okay? And she works for the senators. What she told us is that
I'm gonna talk from witnesses. I spoke to Adamo already, didn't I not? In Queens about bail reform.
This is Cassidy, bro.
This is Adamo's office, though. He's the senator. This is Adamo's office. I spoke to Adamo, Darryl, and he said he was going to look at bail reform then, 6 weeks ago. And I told him when I saw him again, we're going to have a talk about it, right? What does he do? He goes to the Queen's Eagle and tells the Queen's Eagle, oh, yeah, well, I'm with a modification, right? That's not speaking to me about it. That's not telling me your intention, that you're willing to put judicial discretion into place on black and brown people. We're not unreasonable people, right? I give you a chance to come and talk to me. I spoke to you 6 weeks ago. You my witness then? I spoke to him. We went out to Queens. I talked to the man. The man said he was going to get back to us about bail reform. He called the reporters talking about, oh, I'm willing to make changes. So we don't got nothing to talk about. Now, my comrade, I don't understand what he's saying from whoever he spoke to, but I spoke to Adamo, right? So I shouldn't have to come and speak to Adamo again after he shifted his position from where he was when I spoke to him, right? He's shifting his position for the worse, not the better. So I don't got nothing more to say to you. Now I gotta come and shout to you. I gotta make you understand what's at stake here when it comes to bail reform. Maybe a lot of you senators, a lot of these people, these guys back here don't understand. Certainly Tommy don't. What's at stake for bail reform? People blocking you from access to your own public office. You understand? People whose salaries we're paying, blocking us from access to our offices. You understand? That's what we come with. Ain't nobody violent here. You can call the state police. You can call the governor. You can call federal agents. Ain't nobody violent here. That's why we got bail reform, Tommy. That's why we got it for people like you who want to call the police. That's why we got it, Tommy. Just in case you don't know. Now you know.
Let's go get
Now I educated you, Tommy.
Let them know we vote.
Now we can go to eat, Tommy. Vote. In case you forget, Tommy. Vote.
That's crazy.
What side are you on? We on either side. Any place you go, you let them know it's your office. We pay for this shit. Nobody can block you. Nobody can block you from any of them. They can't block you from any of these motherfucking offices. They can stand up there. They can threaten to call state police. I told him to call. He put his phone back in his pocket because he knew he couldn't. They don't think they smart. They think we stupid. All right? What side are you on, my people? What side are you on?
You're on the people's side.
What side are you on?
What side are you on? On the people's side.
What side are you on?
What side are you? On the people's side.
Right here, man. Always, man. Get us together, man. Get us together.
They won't let us through. Wow, wow.
Oh, it's like that, so we gotta have the brownie over here.
It's the sex security, and we wanna be free.
Closed mouth don't get fed, you know? Closed mouth don't get fed. You gotta let them know.